Welcome to Andrea Lake 101, the making of a billionaire. You guys, this is the episode you've been waiting for. Welcome to Fireside Friday with the enigmatic, fabulous Miss Jenni Le Armendariz, who I have talked about multiple times on the show. Jenni, thank you for being here.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Jenni is truly fascinating. She, of course, is our office manager at Sticker Junkie. Many of our clients who are watching this show have probably interacted with Jenni. She is actually a real person. We don't use AI. And in addition to being our office manager, she is phasing her way into being our chief of staff once we have a big enough company to have a chief of staff. In a former life, she has been a diamond grader. She is a certified tattoo artist. She is an artist, an actual hand drawing artist, as well as a diamond grader. And she was the head chef for a vegan pastry house. She is wild. Her life story is equally as fascinating. And as a matter of fact, I tell her in 20 years, you're going to sound just like me because she keeps doing very interesting things. So we're so happy to have you, Jenni.
Yay. Me too. Always a pleasure to be here talking to
Nice.
you.
Jenni was, in fact, employee number one at Sticker Junkie. Now, in this particular interview, it is a Fireside Friday, so Jenni is going to be interviewing me. So grab your wine, grab your popcorn, and as always, I will give all of the tea. Jenni, can you please confirm that I do not know the questions that you are going to ask me?
This is true. She does not know what I'm about to ask her. No
I
clue.
like it. I like it a lot. All right.
All right. I do have a couple of questions. Let's start from the beginning. I have some
Yes.
questions that I'm sure not everyone knows the answers to, and I really want to get really nitty gritty down into these.
Ooh.
So
Oh, I like it.
I know you started multiple businesses,
Yes.
specifically a t-shirt company, but I do want to ask, why stickers? What was the thought behind the stickers?
Do you know it's because I had the t-shirt company. And so Anti-Establishment Clothing had 98 different slogans. And I could afford to get all 98 slogans printed on stickers. And so it was just cheaper. And then because my stickers were so cool and I would like display them in really cool ways when I would go to the PB Street Fair in San Diego or the OB Street Fair, people would be like, whoa, your stickers are so cool. Can you print stickers for me? And I was like, no, 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 no. And then one time, 5 people in a single day asked me, and I was like, wait a minute, I bet I can. And literally, that's how it started. Sticker Junkie started
Huh.
out as a brokerage. We didn't have our own printing equipment at first, not for the first several years. And then we got our own printing equipment in like 2008 or something.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So being in the sticker game and being in the
Yes.
sticker world, and you had a really large head start in the sticker world, in the sticker
Yeah.
game, and yet people have surpassed you. How does
Yes.
that make you feel?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll tell you what. The first time that I saw the Sticker Mule website, I cried. I cried tears. DoorDash had just come out. It wasn't even DoorDash yet. It was like Grubhub had just came out. I was waiting for takeout in a hotel room in San Diego, waiting for the most delicious Indian food to arrive. And I cried, except for that I knew I wasn't going to go put the effort into the company. And I cried because I knew that their interfaces and integrations were better than mine, except for that I also owned the sales rights on all of Blizzard Gaming. So, girl, I was like doing 20 million in revenue through that. So I was just fucking collecting checks and putting money in my
You're
pocket.
just like, oh yeah, it's fine.
I didn't want to go back in and build that company out. And this would have been way after I was on The Apprentice and right before I started the Winston House. And I was like, I just don't even want to go and deal with that. I have a really comfortable life. I have a lot of businesses. I was launching a tech company at the time called Mentor Mojo. Like I just was busy. And that just wasn't where I was putting my attention. But the minute that I saw their website, I knew that they were going to come in and eat my lunch. I
Crazy.
did. Mm-hmm. Oh, I
Dang.
really did, because when they
Oh,
first came out, their web integrations were fantastic. Now, quite frankly, I like our backend system now better than theirs, obviously,
yeah.
or else if I didn't like it better, I would come up with something better than what we have. But I think that what we have is truly the best, which is why we have it.
Yes, it's
Mhm.
true. And I know you were really big into the sticker generator game. The bumper stickers
Yes.
were huge. Like,
Yeah.
I know that was really a big hit. So, Wow.
Yeah, for the first actually several years of that company, up until we got our own screen printing equipment, we didn't do anything but bumper stickers. All that we had was a sticker generator where people could go and do bumper stickers. We didn't do die cut stickers. We didn't do anything because I wasn't putting any energy or effort into keeping up with technology when digital presses did come out. And then we started outsourcing to a company that did the digital printing for us. I guess it was earlier than that. It was like maybe 2000, like 2008. But I just didn't put any resources or energy or my own energy into that company. It just sort of was press and play
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's still standing, so
Yeah.
you did something right.
Yeah,
I'm
for a
here
really
now.
yeah, for a really long time, it did squeak by. Mhm. Yep.
Oh, so crazy. So I do know starting over in a business is scary. And the fact that you had to do that is mind blowing. And the way you handled it and the way you did things is something that I know not everyone can do. So I do want to talk about owning a business and everything that comes with it,
Yeah.
right? All the hardships and all the decisions you have to make. Because I know personally, I
Yeah.
never wanted to own a business. And the fact that you
Mhm.
just have so many and and you're just like, oh yeah, this sticker company now, let me actually focus on this and work on it. This is a really big one for owning a business. And I know you personally.
Mhm.
Um, for you not being married and not having kids, did this
Mhm.
help you with your success?
Oh, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. I think I probably would have had different businesses if I had kids. I think I would have had businesses that centered around me being a mom. I think I would have had businesses that centered around kids. I think because my businesses they reflect my interests in my life. I love pop culture. I'm interested in it. I love creating product companies. I'm interested in that. And also, it is the most demanding job in the world to be a mom. I am fucking sick and tired of people being like, oh, well, that's not even work. I'm like, are you eating bonbons all day? Go care for a child for 4 or 5 days in a row by yourself and tell me that that is not a job. I watched one of my friend's kids. I kid you not, for like 4 or 5 days, I I brought a journal with me. I scheduled calls. I looked up at the end of the day and I looked at my phone and it was 4 o'clock and I thought it was 11 o'clock in the morning. It is an all consuming task raising children. It is
Yes.
harder than every single company that I have put together on top of each other, running 14 of them at the same time. Not as difficult as raising two children, not as difficult as raising two kids. It's not.
That's so mind
N-
blowing.
yeah. And I've had a lot of moms tell me, "Oh no, what you do is so much harder." And I'm like, "Nar, you are not giving yourself enough credit. It most certainly is not. Come sit in my shoes because I can go just sit and relax and have a latte and talk to Jenny and Brian for an hour and get off in the weeds and like figure out some strategy, but then just be laughing with each other and decide like, "Oh, hey, let's just set up a little bagel bar. Like, let's just run to the store and do that real quick." The amount of easygoingness versus like kids don't have an off button.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
You
hardest
can't
job in the world being a mom. No comparison.
yeah, it's just so
Mhm,
fascinating how wow, knowing you and how you run your businesses is like,
mhm,
dang, I wonder what it would just, all the what ifs and all
mhm.
the possibilities that other people have and like what they go through and what you go through. It's just so
Yeah.
different. Just it's just so interesting. I'm like, oh wow.
It really is true. Do you know what I heard Oprah say something once that she said, "Everybody's life is hard and everybody's life is happy and everybody's life is sad and they're hard. It doesn't matter if somebody else perceives that as harder. Their hard is an equal level of hard because that's their hard and their happy is an equal level of happy because that's what brings them joy." And it's so crazy to me how we're so comparative with each other.
Yeah, I feel like it's also in our
Mhm.
human nature to compare. It's just
Yes.
we just can't not help it.
Yes. I
Yeah.
have a question for you, Jenny,
Oh, yes.
because Jenny came in here and she is our office manager. And I have shared this story many times on the podcast that Jenny said to me, "But I don't ever want to be a manager again." And I said, "Well, I'm very, very sorry to tell you, but you just are." She was getting teary. And I was like, "I won't bend to this because you just are a manager. You just are going to be the manager. That's just who you are as a person. You can't not manage. You ran a kitchen."
This is true. Now I can't not see myself managing. Who am I kidding?
Who were you kidding? So Jenny is actually on our top team, and this will be when she's our chief of staff. This will be her first time ever having a chief level C team position within a company. So how has it been for you being a C team member on this team?
It feels very rewarding knowing that like what I have to say and everything, all the knowledge that I have is
Mhm.
actually in a way useful, and that
Mhm.
people can actually take what I say and take it into consideration for everyone else,
Mhm.
not just for me,
Yeah.
because I am here for everyone else, not just for me. So
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative that I get to have this opportunity. Like
Mhm.
finally, I get to shine and really be who I
Yeah.
really am, and
Yeah.
my ideas are not shut down, and like I'm not called stupid and useless. So which was true, which I have been called both those things, but it
Jenny
has
has
been
some workplace trauma in her past, like a lot of people in this current workplace environment.
yes, but I love it. So now that you've been in business for so long, specifically
Mhm.
the sticker business,
Yeah.
you have told me a couple times on how and why you decided to get back into running the sticker place, but I want to know like why truly did you not sell it? Like why not stay retired, right? Why deal with all of this unnecessary stress?
Okay, so that is a fantastic question. But the thing is, I was so upside down with the debt of the company already walking in the door that solving the company would not solve this issue. And I didn't have another faster way that I could see to remake all of the money from the debt. The company wasn't worth anything when I came in the door. Like I did have a lot of regular customers and I was doing $438,000 in revenue. That is not nothing. But my company financials were a complete fucking mess. Everything was out of order in that company, as evidenced by the fact that I had to go meet with my friends and have a rendezvous in the offices of the IRS. The company was doing not well. I could have sold my list of clients for sure, but probably for about 400 grand. Do you know? And so probably for about a 1 year's worth of revenue, maybe two, that wouldn't even have covered half of the debt. And so this very clearly to me looked like the fastest path to money. This was an established brand that had been abandoned. I knew that I could create interest in it again. And I knew that I could sell the vision of what I wanted to do with coming back into the companies, rebuilding all 14 of them, building this killer team, filming the whole experience, sharing it out on social media, and just people being interested. And like, there's so few people that can confidently just be like, I am going to go build $1 billion company right now. I'm going
Oh,
to do
oh
it over the course of, yeah, right.
oh yeah.
I'm going to do it over the course of 5 years. I sound like a fucking lunatic, but you know what? I sound a whole lot less crazy today than I did the day that I walked back in
Yeah,
the door.
very true, and
Mm-hmm.
I empower you for that because that's amazing that you saw it and you were able to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
especially now in these times, I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
I can't, and I do, and on that, with the
Mhm.
whole thing when it all happened,
Yeah.
I hope it's not a touchy subject,
No,
but
you're fine.
um, if you didn't have your business partner or had a different business partner at the time,
Oh, yeah.
would any of that have changed your decision of coming back?
No, no, it wouldn't have. I have another friend that I would have roped in. I would have begged and pleaded with her, and we are so similar that it wouldn't have worked out well. We could do business together now that I'm stable, but we would it would our friendship would not have survived. Our friendship would not have survived probably. We probably would have, but we probably would not be friends for a couple of years there.
Dang.
Mhm.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy how like all these
it
decisions,
is.
the decisions you can make will affect everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it really was. But Brianna, I will say to the day I die, was a perfect partner to come in and help me to rebuild. She is brilliant. She is engineering minded. She is
yeah.
the most hardworking, ethical person. She's just fantastic. She's a fantastic human being. I literally, I don't, just like I always say, I don't ever want to find out what would happen if I didn't have you around. I say that a lot. And I wouldn't want to ever find out what would happen if I didn't have Brian around. I wouldn't ever want to have found out what it looked like that first year without Brianna there. I just don't even wouldn't even want to know because she
Yeah.
saved me. Truly saved
Yeah.
me. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you first did come back into the company, you had to
Mhm.
fire everyone.
I
I
did.
I personally never heard of that. Like, I
Mhm.
I again, I don't own a business, and I never owned a business, so I don't
Yeah.
know if that's like a normal thing to do, or is that just,
No.
uh
It's not.
how did you what was the idea behind that? How do you come up with, like, you have to fire everyone, every single last employee,
Yeah.
and start again? And, what was the longest, employee that was here? How long were
Mhm.
they here? And then you just had to fire everyone.
I believe it was 14 years. And again, there were issues, there were chronic issues. There were unsolvable issues. So when I first came back in, I did think I was going to be able to work with this person, but then I found out that not only were things incredibly askew and very, very mismanaged, but that there was some dude, there was all the bad things happening. We don't need to get into that, but it was all of the bad. Longtime listeners understand, but it was all of the bad to the point that you don't know how people are going to react. And when you don't know how somebody's going to react in a situation, you have to really plan out what's going to happen. So, a very good friend of mine, Griff from I've never told this story on the pod, and it's fucking fascinating. I had to hire in special forces operators. Is that the story you were getting at? Because
Yes.
Jenni knows the whole last story. So, I'm from a military family. And I have always helped military guys that reach out and want some advice on entrepreneurship, especially the special forces operators. Because my father was a submarine man, which is absolutely not special forces, but it really is like a different sub-segment breed in the same way that a fighter pilot would be a sub-segment breed. If you're a captain of a submarine, that's not. You got something going on in your mind if you can do that, because that is a
Yeah.
hard job. And yeah, and so when I met Griff, my friend who started Combat Flip Flops, and you probably saw him on Shark Tank, I helped him to turn his company around. Me and my business partner, Dan from Tap Out, were like, dude, we will take calls with you. We will be happy to advise you. Anything that you need, we will be very happy to show up for you for free. You can call us anytime. But we know what this is like. So Griff always has had a soft spot if I ever needed anything. And I just never really asked him for anything because I didn't need anything. But I called him up and I said, I need your help because I need to think this through. You don't know what somebody's going to do when you have to let them go,
Yeah.
when they don't have a lot of warning and there's been theft and they don't know what you know and things are being profoundly mismanaged. So I called him up and he was very far away in a different state. But there's a network. All of these special forces guys are connected to each other. So he calls up two of his friends. One of them was a special forces operator. I believe he also was a ranger. He might have been a Navy SEAL. I cannot remember. And he is like best friends with Channing Tatum. And one of Channing Tatum's movies, I think it's called Dog, I don't remember which one it is, was made based on this dude's life. And he happened to be in San Diego. And then that guy called one of his other guys, this dude that just looked like a monster. He's the nicest dude in the world, but he's like 6'6, 6'7, and big guy. Both of them are just yoked dudes. And so I let that old manager go, and the manager just took it great. He really did take it great, but you don't know how somebody's going to take something. But
Yeah.
it was a true operation. We had a moving truck there. We already had a storage unit because he had a bunch of stuff in our warehouse. And we were like, this needs to be a clean, fast break because of tenancy, occupation laws, and having to evict someone and all of the things. And in that moment, I knew that I would capture him in a moment where he would be like, whoa, kind of feel guilty. And I let him go. And then the guys moved all of his stuff out by the end of the day. And it truly was like a very strategic operation. And the guys were really nice. They were there to de escalate the situation, they were there to help him load the moving truck. Well, something got lost in the translation, and Griff never told them that they were going to be helping move that day. And they're like, our bodies
Oh,
are broken by war. We do not help people to move. But they were so fucking nice because they felt so bad for me because I was like, crying and I was just like, okay, cool. I was trying to keep it together before the guy came in that morning because they got there at like 6 in the morning or something. And that employee didn't get in until 7. They might even have got there at 5 in the morning. And they're like, we almost wanted to leave, but we felt so bad for you that we didn't. And we thought we were doing just a bodyguarding gig because sometimes those guys just do bodyguarding gigs for friends. They're
mhm.
like, we almost showed up in 3-piece suits. And then it was like Pulp Fiction because I had all these old t-shirts in the back and they took off their, jackets and stuff. And like, It was the most ridiculous thing. Thank God they didn't wear three-piece suits. They were just like in jeans and yoga junkie t-shirts, not a kind of a vibe of fashion that they would normally wear, but it was actually kind of hilarious. I wish there had been cameras there because it was insane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my.
Mhm. It really was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, firing people like that out of
Mhm.
just think was it like one day to the next type of decision, or did you really did think about it and, sit on it for a couple of days?
Oh, for weeks. Oh, I no, it was a whole strategically planned operation because once I realized that things were probably amiss behind the scenes, and once I
Mhm.
saw that the operations were so dysfunctional, I knew that I was gonna have to let them go, but then I also knew that I was gonna have to immediately move to San Diego, and not just move to San Diego, but move into the warehouse and literally live there. I always say the one thing that I credit Elon Musk with is he shows what it really takes to turn a company around. That's why, like, the city of San Francisco was trying to kick him out of living in the Twitter offices, and I'm like, "No, he needs to. He's not doing anything. He's not living anywhere." When I say it's not fair even to say that I lived in the Sticker Junkie offices because I wasn't doing any living. I was taking naps for 4 or 5 hours a day.
It's true.
Sometimes 2 hours in the day and 2 hours at night. I was doing nothing but working. There was no life going on. There was no, like, "I'm gonna entertain." There was no. It was morning until night, and Jenny saw it, morning until night working.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if I wanted to smoke a little weed, I was still packing orders all night long.
Mhm. Mhm,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
What a time. Look where we
What
are
a
now.
time. Oh my god. The moment that I truly didn't have to jump in and help pack orders anymore, hallelujah. I mean, I still will, of
Yeah.
course. It's no problem to do it. Like, I'll do any job within my company, but man, that
No,
was
it's
some
okay.
true
It's
work. It's
okay.
okay. Jenny's got it.
Yeah,
Jenny's got
it's
it.
okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
We don't need you back there.
She's like, "You don't even know our operations anymore back there. You would truly just get
You'll
in the
just
way."
slow us yeah, you'll just slow us down.
It's true. It really is true. It really is true.
So, going from 0 employees, how many employees did you have to fire?
Not that many, not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yes, and it wasn't all at once. It was the 3 office staff that were really there a lot, the production crew. Then I
Okay.
had a fantastic woman that I've talked about, Courtney, who I love to this day. If she ever moved to San Diego, she will always have a job with Sticker Junkie for the rest of her whole life, but she
Yeah.
just doesn't live locally anymore, and it never made sense for us to offsite outsource our customer service. That is why it is so shocking to me when I hear that other sticker companies do in fact outsource their customer service to an offsite location. I'm like, you need to be able to go walk in the back and talk to the people in production and shift things around. And there's a lot of physical things that need to
Yeah.
happen to make sure that stuff gets done. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so many
Mhm.
things on that. One, I also love Courtney. She taught me a lot of things for
She's
customer
fantastic. Yeah. Mhm.
I was never in customer service until this job, so
Yeah.
she did teach me a lot of things about customer service. Love
Mhm.
her for that.
I love
And
her
2,
too.
you do need customer service to be in-house because
Yeah.
just communication is so important, and that's what customer service is. You're
Yeah.
communicating with the customer and the team. Like, you have to know what's going on with and let them and inform the party. So it's yeah, it's very hard to believe that people outsource their customer service. How can you find out any information?
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's
absolutely. And then the other employee that was there actually was my brother, who was our lead graphic designer for years and years and years, and he was ready to retire anyhow.
that's right.
And so once everybody was stable and in it all day, he had been doing that job for 15 plus 20 years. And so David didn't get fired, but, obviously, but he was wanting to retire anyway, and he's still
Yeah,
part of the team. He still comes in. He's
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
It's
Love brother.
wonderful when he
Yeah,
comes in. Yeah,
love
everybody loves brother.
brother.
Mhm. My brother is a very, very good guy.
Yes, yes, we love him.
Mhm.
We love him around here.
We do.
Well, after you fired everyone and you had no one, no literally no one in here, how and when did you decide that you needed more employees? Like, when did you know it was time? And
Mhm.
how long were you and Bree here alone? Like, in that time frame of you fired everyone?
It was not that long, actually. It was about 2 months that she and I just did everything. But really what we were doing was we were just on a learning curve. We had to figure out how the machinery worked, how the equipment worked, how the laminators, the cutters, the printers properly work. We had to rethink our shipping processes, our packing processes, every single things are still being rethought through to this day. Because right now, when you get stickers from Sticker Junkie, right this second, they come in a USPS envelope. Well, really soon, they're going to come in customized packaging, everything top to bottom. So that first 2 months was just a crash course in all of it and figuring out the logistics, the mechanics, the software, the customer interface, the client management system. We didn't have a CRM system. We used just regular old email. It was a fucking
Mhm.
nightmare of a mess. What it was is like if you had a little tiny print shop in Santee, California, which we did, and you just never kept up with the pace of technology. That's what it was like walking back into that company. So now, especially if you're one of our clients that is hooked into our back-end integration, I know how impressive it is, especially if you were one of our clients who was with us previous to now.
That's true. I was there
Yeah.
before we transitioned.
And so when we decided to run the ads, we ran ads in Indeed. And when I got Jenni's resume, we first of all, when we ran ads, I'm a very, very good copywriter. I did not use AI. I ran this ad and it was a very, very compelling ad. Why did you respond to this ad?
It seemed fun and easy. Not gonna lie.
Mhm.
The ad was for stuffing, stickers, and flyers.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you know this now, but I wasn't planning to stay here very long. And I said, I could do that. I can do that for a couple of hours and then go do what I want to do, which
Mhm.
was supposed to be a tattoo artist, but
Mhm.
that's a whole nother thing now. But yes, I also that was one of my questions was why did you initially pick me? Like out of your ad was only for people who stuffed sticker flyers. I
Mhm.
was among other people who, yeah, they could also stuff flyers, but
Mhm.
you picked me. So like what made you decide? How did you decide that like for
That you
stuffing?
were the office manager?
Yeah.
First of all, we got hundreds of resumes. And when we got your resume, I started screaming. I couldn't even believe you were applying because I knew all of the positions that I needed to fill. But what I knew is right now, I just need people to come in and stuff some flyers because we had these huge mailer campaigns. And so, spoiler alert, I hired 5 people. 4 of them are gone. Jenni is there.
Yep.
But I immediately was like, whoa, you have talent dripping off of your fingertips. Are you fucking kidding me? And so, Jenni, it's silly to me that you even ask that because you have such a diversity of skill sets. You literally can learn anything. And she was, in fact, actually apprenticing to get her tattoo licensure. And that's what she wanted to do. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way we're letting you go, girl. You have talent coming off of your fingertips. Anything I gave Jenni never used to talk on the phone. And when she came in, she was talking on the phone. And I was like, Jenni, you sound really not happy on the phone. She's like, really? I'm like, you can't sound that way when you talk to my customers. So,
Yeah.
you know what she did when she was driving on her commute? She practiced talking on the phone and now she's fantastic on the phone. I'm like, you sound so happy in person. You just need to sound that same way on the phone. But she
Yeah.
didn't grow up talking on the phone every day like I did with my Gen X girlfriends.
Sure, I had no idea, but now I teach other people how to talk on the phone, so
That's exactly right. Speaking, you can learn any
Mhm.
skill set. You are so profoundly talented. We are so lucky. It's silly to me that you even asked that question because that means that you aren't seeing yourself clearly enough with how extraordinary that you are.
Oh, I just want other people to also know how
Oh,
extraordinary.
okay, very good, very good. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Very often on this show, I compliment someone and then I say, oh, they're really uncomfortable with that. They don't like a compliment. I never say
Oh,
that
no,
about
no,
Jenni.
no.
Oh,
I
Jenni
think
loves the compliment.
yeah, I added the
Yes.
discussion on purpose. I know this is about you, Andrea, but I had to keep one in there for me.
No, as well you should, as well you should. Extraordinarily talented, and I also thought, "I need A team players like this. This is what I need on my team." And then Emily came along, Michi came along, Courtney came along, extraordinary,
Yeah,
extraordinary team members, and then you brought Dave and Alex and a couple other fantastic team members that you know. Brian came along, he brought Wendy and Chance that he knows. Like the team has been extraordinarily
yes.
awesome in its evolution.
Yeah,
Mhm,
literally the
mhm.
best team ever, and we all work
Best.
so well. It's the
Yeah.
best. Oh, so
I always
good.
say I'm not making it up. We really do just have a good time with each
Mhm.
other. I'm not just
We
saying that.
really do, yeah.
We're not just pretending for Instagram reels.
No. We are not. Also want to talk about your one of your amazing skills that I also look up to that
Ooh.
that I just find so impressive, and I am trying to also learn this, but you have such people skills. You know so many people. You bring up a person of who knows someone. That's amazing. I love that. And basically, I know them too, just by you knowing them.
That's right.
And so yeah, having the ability to talk to people and make that sale and just knowing how to
Mhm.
convert and change someone's mind, I feel like that plays into psychology when it comes to business.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I wanna go more into that, and how did you learn how to do that? Was this something that just was innate, natural that you had, or is it something
Mhm.
that you did have to learn having so many businesses?
Yes, it absolutely is a learned thing. I think I have a talent for it, certainly. But back in the day, I grew up before the internet. And so one of my first jobs was working in a phone bank, literally fundraising for all of the UC schools. And I was not a student at UC schools. And I would have to like hop between schools. Then we did like Florida State University, all these different schools that we were fundraising for because they would outsource to a big phone bank and you would call the alumni network to get them to donate money. And if you want to get real good at sales real fast, that's a great way to do it. And then after that, I did door to door sales on a hyper incendiary issue for 2 years about abortion rights. And so there is nothing that will make you learn sales faster and how to communicate with people faster and how to yes, no faster than going to someone's door at dinner and knocking on their door and getting within, less than 10 minutes, getting them to write you a check.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so just doing it is what made me good at doing it. I do think I had a natural proclivity towards it, but when I was a kid, I took this sociology class, and this professor said, "Nobody just has inherently has confidence, but if you just pretend that you have confidence for a little while, if you just pretend, just act as if you have confidence, people wanna be around a confident person and all of a sudden, people
Mm.
will treat you with respect because you have confidence. And then eventually you will just get confidence because people respect you and listen to you. And I took that class for fun when I was like 19. And then immediately started I walked taller. I walked out of that class to my car like I had the world by the tail and I was the most insecure person. But people started responding to me really differently when I behaved like a leader. And then that's how I became a leader is I really was faking it in the beginning and fake it till you make it was a real thing
Ah,
back then, except for I had such imposter syndrome that I really quickly wanted the dollars in the bank to match the attitude that I had. And luckily, my businesses were successful when I
yeah,
was young.
you did it. It worked.
I did. I did selling fuck you t shirts. True fact.
I love that. Well, having that much knowledge in the business, I feel like a lot of other business people are missing that. And that's why
Yeah.
they don't succeed as well as you have in all of your
Mhm.
businesses. So that's
That's right.
just that's one of the main things that I have noticed where having so many jobs and having so many bosses is that
Mhm.
you and the way you think and the way how you run your business is very different, which makes sense because you're the only one who has the most successful business that I worked for. I'm like, "Okay, okay." So everyone
Mhm.
else, falls into the same patterns of not knowing what the hell they're talking about, thinking they know what
Mhm.
the hell they're talking about. So they're
Mhm.
trying to fake it to make it,
Right.
then they never make it. So
Right.
it's just so astonishing how you are able to do it because not only are you you, but you're also a genius. So makes sense.
Well, I'm actually gonna speak to that point because you can absolutely fake confidence, but you cannot fake knowledge and you cannot fake leadership. And so if you lose your shit, then you lose 100% of your credibility. Taylor Swift just said something similar to that on a podcast. And I was like, that she is such an astute business person. And people don't credit her for how fucking banger. She is one of the most successful female entrepreneurs in the world. And people don't very often first associate her as being an entrepreneur because she's such a profoundly talented singer and songwriter, but she has her fingers in the pie of all of her businesses. And that it was really, really true. If you are upset or frustrated or angry with your people, or if you pretend to know something that you don't know, you are shooting yourself in both feet at the same time. You need to go figure out if what you're saying is true. You need to go, if you don't know something, you say, oh, I don't know. What do you think about that? You need to shut your fucking mouth and listen to your people because you hired good people and you cannot make them feel bad about themselves. The amount of time that I see people being punitive towards mistakes, I'm like, you just lost that employee. You do not have them anymore. They're not going to tell you about something that's coming up next. You're not going to be forewarned of a problem. And they're going to be afraid to come to you, rightfully so, when they make a mistake. So they're going to try and hide it from you. It is all bad news bears. You do not want anything like that in your company. You want people to be sentient, grown adults who are capable of making decisions and let them run and let them fly.
It's
That
true.
is the way to have a successful company. Mm-hmm.
So rare, so rare.
It's
Before,
crazy to me.
yes,
Sorry, go ahead.
before working for you and Brian, who were not my bosses, when I was in charge of all these other places and working and
Mm-hmm.
being also the managers,
Yeah.
I went to Google on how to how to speak to people. How do I manage? Because my
Mm-hmm.
bosses, they're nowhere to be found, and I can't ask them
Mm-hmm.
anything without me
Right.
personally being yelled at. So now that I have
Yeah.
you guys, I have learned so much, and I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. So not only you lucky to have me, but I'm lucky to have you guys.
The amount of unwinding that we had to do with Jenni when she came in the door, and I said, you are not a bad manager. You have had really bad bosses. Are you fucking kidding me that your boss called you stupid? Are you literally serious? You are the smartest, most capable person. It breaks my heart that anybody thought that they had the right to call you that in a workplace. That's fucking ridiculous. And
Yes,
especially with how hardworking that you are. It,
literally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, lucky for you. Because of that, now I'm here. So
I know. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the whole entire thing.
such a learning experience
Mhm,
all around,
mhm,
all around.
mhm.
But yeah, very
Yeah,
it's just so crazy how night and day from one job to another and how you and the way
mhm,
you think is just mind blowing. And
mhm.
then
You manifested that. You
I did,
manifested that. You did.
I
You
did,
did. You
I did.
did. You did a lot of work. You really identified what you didn't want to experience in a workplace ever again. And then you came into a workplace where it really, there's no way for me to properly convey to our audience that really, really, even if somebody actually makes a legitimate, actual, real mistake, that you are not in trouble. You are not going to the principal's office. That
Yeah,
mistake was made because a process was not properly put in place. And so we're going to put a process in place and nobody's going to make that mistake again. That's it.
it's true, it's true. And I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of entrepreneurs who wanna be entrepreneurs don't
Yeah.
understand, don't realize because they
Yeah.
also haven't learned that, so then they go
Right.
and do their own thing because they wanna be their own boss and they wanna go do the thing. But
Mhm.
that's probably one of the reasons why I never wanted to be on my own because I
Mhm.
didn't know how to do anything. So how can I
Right.
successfully work for myself if I don't know what I'm doing? Since I've had terrible bosses, I'm also gonna
Right.
be a terrible boss as well. So it was never ending cycle. And I feel like that's the majority of people just
Yeah.
not knowing what a good manager and leader is. So,
Mhm.
so very sad, but that's the truth. That's the truth.
It is. We're changing that. We're gonna change that one business at a time out there. Mhm.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, come work for us. Look, well, I know that you are a big baller, Andrea. You're right. You know so many people. You know so
Sure
many
do.
millionaires. You know so many
Mhm.
billionaires. You're you, right? You're just
Yeah.
you're the Andrea Lake. And I wanted to, and one of the main questions I wanted to ask you was, how are you so nice?
Well,
I
yeah.
can't conceptualize like how you're though I feel like you're just so up here and like I'm over here and you're just so nice.
Wow. First of all, that is incorrect. It takes a team to make a team. I think a better question is, why are so many other millionaires and billionaires assholes? That's a far better question.
Yeah, that
That's
too.
a way better question. That's a way
Yeah,
better question because I've always been able to put myself in the position of, I didn't grow up with anything. We were on assisted food when I was a kid because my mom was a waitress and my dad was in the military. And then there was a period of time where she was on maternity care and the military would give away food. So when everyone's like, oh, we can, those people should only be eating healthy food, I'm like, girl, this was blocks of like the yellow government cheese. This was spam and hot dogs. And we were little kids and we were thrilled. That was our favorite food. You couldn't have given us anything better. And so when I talk about my mom and she's so successful and she's so amazing, like she went back to school at night while raising two children and got a bachelor's and a master's degree. And so did my dad. So to see this like crazy hardworking work ethic. And they had such a nice house because they were flipping houses. So when I was in high school, I begged them, please just stay in one house for 4 years. And they did. And the thing with it was, though, they would constantly say to me, you don't have a nice house. This isn't your house. This is our house. You
Oh,
didn't do anything to earn this house. You're going to have to go get to work and get your own house. This is not yours. You all the hard work that you see us doing, you have to go do that. So when I was 15 and a half, even though I had this like whole babysitting racket where I had little friends that were going and babysitting, and I was, taking $1 off the top because I was hooking them up with all the jobs or whatever. But my dad forced me to go get a job. So my first job was literally a janitor at a McDonald's. And so I think anybody that starts out scrubbing toilets at McDonald's is going to pretty much keep their feet on the ground.
you're not wrong there. Not
Yeah.
wrong.
And I lost everything twice. And so that's a pretty humbling experience. And so,
But even through all of it, you're still willing. You're still willing to give back. You're still willing to teach for other people
yeah,
to grow and learn, which is very nice of you. Still.
thank you. Because it was so much harder when I was a kid. There wasn't Andrea motherfucking Lake telling people what to do. There wasn't. I had to figure it out as I went along. And the trial and error was brutal at times, but also it was like such an advantage because there were so many things that I like didn't do properly. And as a result, I made a shit ton of money. Like I didn't know at Hot Topic that I was supposed to like print sample t-shirts of every single shirt that I was pitching them. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They know what a print looks like on a black t-shirt. I just send them artwork and they tell me which ones they want.
Oh.
And they're like, you don't send over a sample shirt first, which back then was very expensive to do. It's very inexpensive to do now. And it's a miracle that it never came back to bite me in the butt, but it didn't. I was like, no, they know what words on a t-shirt looks like. And so that saved me literally thousands of dollars. So there was all kinds of stuff that I should perhaps have been doing in a proper process that I just didn't, in a way that worked out really well for me and made it possible for me to grow and scale.
Yeah. See, you also manifest your everything, your whole life.
Master manifester girl.
Yes. On my way, on my way.
Oh, you've got it. You got it right now. Are you kidding me? You're
Hell yeah.
on this ride.
As the CEO of this company, it's as we all know, it's very important for us, me and you, that we do care about all of our employees and how everyone cares about each other. Again, not a lot of CEOs do that. So again, I need everyone to realize not everyone does this.
It's true.
CEOs don't care about their employees.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them. So I just wanted to say that and just like really hone in on that because I can't. It's just something that I'm very blessed and very lucky to have, that I get to have my boss, who's also one of my really good friends, to work with every day, all day.
That's right.
So I really, I just want to hone in on that, like how you're just the best CEO ever.
Thank you. And do you know what? Do you know what I have as a result of that? I have a team.
Us.
I have a team that will bend over backwards to do whatever needs to get done next so that we can win as a team, because my team trusts me that they are abso-fucking-lutely gonna win when I win. No contest. No contest. That's why even when I'm in this tremendous amount of debt, I gave raises and I told them, like, look, I think we're going to be here January or February. I think we're going to be at 4 million. And even if we're not, I'm going to figure out another round of raises, even while I still have all of this debt going on, because it's so expensive to live, getting more expensive week on week. And so my team trusts me and they know that as we keep going down the line, they understand the financials. They understand how it's going to benefit them. Can you imagine running a company and making your workers feel insecure? Sasha came in the other day, newer on the team. Jenni and Alex were drinking coffee, were drinking Starbucks, and they said, Sasha said, I wanted to stop at Starbucks, but I didn't want to be late. And I went, girl, nobody is looking at when you walk in the door. Just go to Starbucks. Nobody is clock watching you. Like if you can send a group chat if you want, and just let everybody know that you really felt like Starbucks. So then I was like, as a matter of fact, an Impossible breakfast sandwich sounds yummy. Here, just go do a Starbucks run, ask everybody what they want. And I don't understand why all bosses do that.
Yeah,
Like,
who does that?
who doesn't do that? Because what did that end up costing? $30 maybe to do a
Yeah,
Starbucks red,
yeah,
and Sasha was like, "Oh my god, I'm a grown-up. If I am craving coffee and it's gonna make me 10 minutes late,
it's alright.
that is okay. Nobody is watching the clock."
It's very true. Like the way our dynamic here is like if you do call out, if you don't come in on time, it's
Mhm.
totally fine. Like as important as you are to the job and the processes, it's okay. Those 10
Right.
minutes, 15 minutes is not gonna impact your whole day.
Yes, and we build in on purpose, intentionally, tons of redundancy across the different positions so that people know. Now, granted, there's some jobs where that's just not gonna be a possibility to do, but not
Yeah.
really. It's within the corporate structure. Because as we get bigger, we literally will have floaters for each position. We have plenty of additional optional work that can always get done. So we'll just have an additional person so that it doesn't kneecap us or make us struggle on that day if somebody is out, which quite frankly, even right now, it really doesn't because everyone knows at least more than one job so that they can transition back and forth. Mhm.
And
And
that's
that
because
wasn't by design.
and that's because they also want to. They want
Yeah.
to learn
Yes.
everyone's job.
Yes. Yeah. They really do.
Yeah, they really, really do.
It's amazing the amount of creativity that's stifled out there because of shitty bosses.
Mhm.
It
Yep.
truly, really actually is. Mhm. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions now, Miss Jenny.
Okay, cool.
What is your biggest takeaway lesson so far from working underneath, particularly me as your boss?
Understanding the and having empathy for everyone else. So I I felt like I also had a lot of empathy for a lot of people, but just
Mhm,
like knowing how to control my emotions when it comes to decisions and like managing people is really
mhm,
important. There's a fine line of what you can do and say, and I'm
mhm.
really taking that into consideration in everything that I'm doing, teaching, saying when it's about work. And then with that, I'm also being myself and also just have so much fun here at work. So
Jenny is a vibe ambassador at work for sure.
it's true. I am the director of good vibes.
She is. Truly is, truly is. That's her signature line, and
I
it is
am.
well deserved.
I am. But
Mhm.
definitely becoming my true self
Mhm.
as well as growing professionally here
Yeah.
at Sticker Junkie. It's been amazing. Amazing, right?
Mhm.
Like I've been able to really come through in who I am with my pink hair and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and what do you think that you have most learned from Brian?
Brian, he has a great way of communicating with someone when they're like when there's an issue, right? And he
Mhm.
turns it into not an issue. And he's able to do that and having that person have trust in him in the moment, right?
Mhm.
When they're talking to him and like, oh, you know, like all hell is loose, like it's really bad and it's crazy. He's just like, well, how? Why? Just the way he says it and the words he says really just combats everyone's feelings and really hones
Mhm.
in on the job and how, you know, them themselves and us and the trust is there, and I'm learning a lot from Brian. Just
Mhm.
really honing in on how to communicate back without attacking someone. Because I mean,
Mhm.
coming from the kitchen, it was always yelling and fiery responses. So
Mhm.
I am still learning. There's so much to learn still.
Yeah.
So Brian has been very helpful. He's
Mhm.
one of my, you know, you and Brian are my mentors who I am really leaning on to become a better manager and a better person
Mhm.
myself. So thanks to you guys.
I love it. Yeah, I've always said to Jenny when she first came in, like, look, sometimes you have to be sharp in a kitchen. And if somebody is not paying attention, you have got to send them home in the kitchen because they're going to
Yeah,
burn themselves. They're going to
yeah,
touch a hot stove. They're going to grab a pan and not think about it. It's a dangerous environment. It's not how I actually would run a kitchen, but that is how kitchens are run. And they're run
yeah,
that way because you are surrounded by danger. That used to be true in a sticker shop. It really did because you were dealing with guillotine cutters, you were dealing with dangerous equipment. Well, nowadays, the sticker printing equipment that we have is not dangerous. The little razors are very much housed inside of casing. It's basically just like
yeah,
very large cutters, but the blades are very protected, and then very large, like it's like a very large printer.
yeah.
And so it's not dangerous in the same way. And one of the things we say all the time in the office is if there's something wrong with an order, the plane did not, in fact, just go down. We do not have a life and death situation. We will bend over backwards to make sure that our clients get their stickers on time, period.
Yeah.
However, nobody is dying over here over whether or not they have stickers that
Yeah.
particular day.
It's
Mhm.
true, it's true, yes. And it
Mhm.
just learning how to be a team player. I put
Mhm.
myself I know I am the
Yeah.
manager here, but I also put myself in everyone's shoes, and I am
Yeah.
able to do everyone's job, and I'm able to jump in where help is needed. So,
Mhm.
you're right, I'm not just pointing my fingers, I'm also
Yeah.
knees deep in with everyone. Like, I am everyone.
It's really is true.
Yeah.
And when people step outside of that, so much gets lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does. It really, really does,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
I used to have a big ego. It's not as big anymore.
Nothing wrong with having a big ego.
I used to
Mhm.
call it confidence, and people would confuse the 2. But, uh, when I was in the kitchen, obviously, I thought I had the best ideas, and my ideas were only the best. Only
Mhm.
what I had to say mattered, but that's not the case, right? I've learned that's not true, and I have always had the learning mentality of like, "Oh, I'm still learning." I never thought I was the best,
Right.
but in my kitchen, I thought I was the best. So, I don't have that anymore. I don't have that complex anymore, right? We're all the best, right? We're all winners, like, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, right? I came into the sticker business knowing nothing,
Mhm.
nothing, and now I know so much about it. So, I love being here, and I love what I do.
I love it. It's fun. It is a very collaborative environment, and I am very, very thankful for it. And you know what? The other night I literally was just crying. Cry a lot these days, but I was like, I am so fucking proud of myself.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because there's a really big difference from when I walked in this door and from when you first walked in this door, as Jenny was employee number one when we had hired new people back in. Jenny is employee number one. Jenny's going to be with us the whole time. And it's very funny because our chief operations officer was employee number one of Jinx, a very, very large company that he had helped to build. And it's like a crazy ride when you get to see it from the bottom. And Jenny was the first person that just really saw the vision. Jenny and I were like, we're manifesting this. We've got this. This is going to happen this way. And I would say to her at night sometimes when she would stay late, and we used to just stay for hours afterwards
Mhm,
and just talk because we
mhm. Just to
liked
hang
being
out, yeah.
there.
Just to hang out,
So
literally.
fun. So fun. But when it was just only me and her around, I would say, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe where we're going to be in a year. You're not going to believe where we're going to be in 2 years. You're not going to believe where we're going to be in a year. And every single year after that, you're not going to believe where we are a year later. And she said, I've never seen it get to that point in a company. So, how has it been for you to actually watch explosive, expansive scale and growth?
It's still mind blowing. I still can't believe it. I'm like, "Well, I everything you said is coming true." That doesn't happen. That does not happen. I've had multiple bosses tell me, "Oh, this is gonna happen. This is the plan. This is the plan," and I'm just
Mhm.
waiting and waiting and anticipating and waiting.
Mhm.
But you only not have said it, but then it happens fast, and then it keeps happening, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it works. This is how a
Yeah.
successful business is." My boss tells me one thing and it actually happens. Like,
Yeah.
this is new to me. It's mind blowing. I've never seen a business. I mean, it was already a really good business from the beginning, but the way it has transformed and succeeded in the 6 months since I started, from the very first month
Yeah.
to the 6th month, very drastic, huge difference. And
Yeah.
I was very happy that I got to be a part of that. My ideas and like my opinion really mattered in the whole process, and I
Yeah.
feel like that has helped the business even succeed faster, which
Of course.
and I knew it. I knew, all my other businesses, and I'm like, "This is I just please listen to me, please. I'm doing the work, please."
Yeah, so this is such a great lesson out there to all entrepreneurs who are out there right now. Do not stifle the creativity of your employees. Do not think that you always just only have the best answer
Yeah.
because you will be suppressing the most magical solutions that you could even imagine. You will be. If you shut your people down enough, they won't give you solutions. And the person that is doing that job all day, every day, they for sure know a better way to
Mhm.
do something than you do. And if you listen to them and then put it together where you're meeting on a regular basis and taking feedback from production, from design, from the combination, from customer service, you're going to end up with the tightest ship because somebody is always going to see something that you don't see. And when you value it and you praise them and you thank them and you credit them, guess what happens? they bring you more fucking banger fantastic ideas.
Literally, yeah. So
Yeah.
the money isn't the employees, just listening to their ideas is crucial, very important. Yeah.
I know. I always am like, I could be a competent boss and have a $10 million a year company. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I could just run it exactly the way that I see it and think that my own opinion is the most important opinion. And it is because I'm the one that calls the shots. But my opinion is that people who are in production all day know more about production than I do. People who are in design all day know more about the way the file flow functionality should work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you cannot get caught up in the minutia. And here's what's tempting to entrepreneurs. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what they fall into. For me, I'm always like, hey, look, you get something 80, 90% of the way there. You bring it to me. I will help you tweak that. Right. But
Hmm.
sometimes entrepreneurs forget that step and something comes to them and it is fucking 90, 92, 95% of the way there. And they criticize that 8% that's missing or that 5% that's missing instead of saying, whoa, that's so sick. Did you guys consider maybe this little thing too? And generally speaking, they're like, oh, yeah, of course. That's da, 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 da. How did I know how to do that thing? It's because I've been a CEO for 34 years. Okay, so there's like they're maybe not going to be thinking about it from a functionality of like you can't do this that way because somebody could walk through this hallway and trip. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just some little whatever thing. Then their employees don't bring them ideas anymore because
Yeah.
they've been criticized, even though that idea was banger. And now, very often in our team, at this, that's only in the beginning. That's only in the beginning of letting people run that happens.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't joking earlier on the podcast when I say I don't know how production runs. I would be getting in the way. I would be because I haven't been back there in over a year.
It's true. It's true.
It is. I'd be like, I'm helping. I'm like the little kid that's trying to mix cookie dough with their mom, and that's created two
Mhm.
times more work for their mom. That would be me in the back.
Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
So whenever she's
Mhm.
back there, I'm like, no, 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 I got it. I got it.
It's true. And the only thing that a CEO should be dealing with, there's just a couple things. Overall negotiations, the direction of the company's strategy, any type of strategic partnership, strategic decisions, strategic operational strategy, anything where money goes to in a significant way. Overall happiness of the team and what makes the team the most money. That's it. That's your
Mhm.
job. Go fucking make money. And 80% of your job is go make money for your people. Go
Mhm.
talk to big brands, get big deals, get security after security after security after security in place for your company so that you have long term success. Long term success. And you need to be looking if you want to scale your company a year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line
Yeah.
in that order. Three months. You have to have a 3 month plan, a 1 year plan, an 18-month plan, and a 24-month plan at a minimum. If you want to scale your company, you have to be thinking about what do I need to do right now to get where I need to go 24 months ago. And you have to not worry about any pain points that you're experiencing to get there. There's going to be a lot of days where you do not feel like getting up and doing it too fucking bad.
Yeah.
And you don't get to blame your team when something goes wrong. It doesn't matter how big it feels. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, we had a little sidebar, but Jenni has allowed me to talk about this before, but I have her on the line here. During Stickergate, we got reached out to by a Fortune 100 client, one of the biggest tech clients in the world, and they wanted us to quote out a $38,000 order for them. And we had already been talking with Gorgeous, who is our CRM, customer relationship management system that we use. And because I didn't take the call that I needed to take, we pushed the call off another week or two. That is the only reason, because I was so busy, that is the only reason that we hadn't hooked up Gorgeous yet. So I go in to the Gmail, or Jenni goes in, I can't remember. And somehow we see much later, at a point in time, like 2 or 3 days later, at a point in time where we wouldn't have actually time to produce this rush emergency $38,000 order, which absolutely was the biggest order that we had to date. And it was Jenni's responsibility to go into the email and respond to the emails. Except for that, Jenni had inherited this just complete fucked shit show of running your customer relationship management through Gmail. And all of a sudden, we had 10 times more sales,
Yeah.
but we had 100 times more inquiries than we
Yeah.
were used to. And she came to me and told me like, oh, I missed this.
That was my bad. I probably what I did was I just selected out everything and I cleared it. Just
Mm-hmm.
because there were so many like spam emails at the time and
Yep.
it was through Gmail and I
Yep.
the subject and I just wasn't reading and I'm like, ooh, that was a boo boo.
Except for then Do you remember what I said to you when you came into my office?
You said no, I don't remember. You were like, "How did this happen? What did you do?" I'm like, "I don't know. What did I do?"
No, no, I remember what I said to you. I
Oh,
did say something to the effect of like, How did this happen? How did you miss this?"
yeah,
And then I realized that I was angry because we needed cash.
yeah,
And then I left the office and I took a walk because I promised myself that nobody would mess up the vibe in my office, not even me. So if I am ever angry, I leave the office because do you know what? Spoiler alert, I wasn't mad at Jenny. I was mad at me. I missed that call. I should have pushed through and taken it. We already should have hooked up gorgeous 3 or 4 weeks ago. I didn't even have to take a long walk because I laughed when I was on the walk. I was like, this is it, girl. This is it. This would not have happened if you had put this in place. And this is nobody's fault but your own to myself. And even as Jenny was just describing that and saying that that was her mistake, that was 1,000,000% not her mistake. That was an unavoidable thing that was absolutely going to happen. So I totally was calmed down. I got swept up into work right when I came back in because this is right at the height of sticker gate and we're getting so much work. Then when I had a moment, I pulled Jenny into my office pretty quickly after that and
yeah.
said, this is not your fault. This is a process error, and this happened because we don't have a CRM system in place. This did not happen because you missed something. It's shocking to me even today that you would describe it as your mistake. It was so dysfunctionally disorganized that it's a miracle that we got all of the business that we did get. It was inevitable that we were going to miss an order. Was it particularly painful that it wasn't a
It was.
$40 order?
Only reason why I knew we missed it was because I would close so many emails and not knowing that they were closed or, like, put them
Mhm.
away in Gmail because Gmail is a little weird, so I
Yeah.
would have to go back and triple check everything, and
Yeah.
that's how we found out. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ooh."
And to her
Ooh.
credit, she did not try to hide this from me. She came and told me what happened, and then we ran all the calculations to see if there was any possible way that we could take this order, and we literally just couldn't because we had so much less equipment at the time than we did now, and our presses were already overloaded. It would have been hard for us to hit that deadline either way back then. Spoiler alert, right now we just quoted out a $200,000 order yesterday, and we absolutely can handle additional crazy huge orders now. But at the
Mhm.
time, that was a year ago. It was a year and a half ago. That was rough. And I went home that night and no, I was still living in the office. Everybody else went home that night. And I was so proud of myself for leaving the office and taking a walk. And I was so proud of myself for not being the type of a boss that would be angry and blame an employee for anything. If I had my shit together, that wouldn't have happened. Period.
Yeah, crazy. Well,
So, a CEO that doesn't stand up and be a leader and put themselves in front of their employees is not going anywhere fast. I see so many CEOs that are finger pointing, that are angry. I'm like, you can get to 10 million with that attitude. You can get to 20 million with that attitude. You can have a huge company with that attitude and be a shitty fucking boss at a place that people hate working for you. You sure can, but you're
yeah.
not going to have a team. You're not going to have a team that has your back. You're not. Mhm.
Yeah, no, and even I mean, everyone now takes accountability. It's
Yep.
we have all learned that from Andrea. So like,
Mhm.
it's huge here that we
Mhm.
just oopsies.
And it's easy to take accountability when it's not punitive, when you're not
Yeah,
a naughty little child that might get a spanking. It's
yeah,
ridiculous the way that people are treated in the workplace. It's insane to me. I'm like, how on earth do you expect to get the best out of your people if you treat them like children?
it's
It's
true.
insane. It's insane. We need to
Mhm.
stop doing that as a country. We need to immediately stop doing that as a series of employers. All of us who employ people need to not do that.
Mhm, mhm. But we have such processes in place now where that doesn't really happen. So when
No,
people are,
no.
yeah, when someone comes up to me like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Jenny, but I have to leave 20 minutes earlier because I forgot I have a disappointment." I'm like, oh, how dare you? How good you? I'm like, "Don't be
I
sorry.
know.
It's fine."
It's funny to me, even people do that still. We used to have an
Yeah,
employee a long time ago, and she was holding her head and putting her head down and feigning like this over exaggerated amount of illness. And she's like, I can getting a migraine. I have a migraine, but it really, I just starting. I'm like, go home. You don't have to put on a show for me. I get migraines. Go
yeah.
home. You're fine. Like,
I know.
yeah,
I know, I usually say, "As much as I want you here, get out."
that's right. That's right. That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it.
In a nice
Well,
way, in a
Jen,
nice way.
Jenni, it's just been fantastic having you on the show. I hope that you are with us for many, many years to come, and I, in fact, know that you will be.
I sure will be. This is my forever job for sure. Found it, everyone. I found it. I did manifest this. I did. I
Whoop,
want
whoop.
everyone to know I absolutely manifested. I really wanted a career that I could stay in, that I could keep for a very long time and be happy in for a very long
Mhm.
time. Found it.
I love that with my whole heart. I love that
Mhm.
more than I can
Mhm.
even say.
Yeah.
I really do, and I know that it's true.
Mhm. From people
Mhm.
from a person who has job hopped and career hopped, I did it. I found it.
Before coming back into this company, I used to judge applicants if they stayed at a place for 3 months or I'm Gen X, that just wasn't really a thing. And now that I have heard the horror stories of the way that people are treated in the workplace, I'm like, "Oh, I am so glad you are not where you were before because once you're truly here and you've proven your way and earned your way onto the team, you're not leaving."
Yeah. It's true.
Mhm.
It's true.
Mhm. It
Yeah.
is. It is. I don't think we'll have any turnover on the current team that we have
No.
unless life pulls somebody to, like,
Yeah.
literally have to move to a
Yeah.
different state or something. Yeah.
No hard feelings. No hard
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
You will miss us though.
So much. So
Yeah.
much. All right, that's going to do it for this Fireside Friday and this episode of Andrea Lake 101, The Making of a Billionaire. Jenni, thank you so much for being with us today. We will see you next time on the show. I'm sure that you will be back as a repeat guest. Woo, woo. And Jenni will obviously have a segment on the upcoming Sticker Wars podcast that we are breaking out of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next week on the pod for an update of the madcapped, wild world of Sticker Wars. It is a $42 billion industry that nobody knew existed. The owners of those spaces are either private equity companies or they could be on the Tiger King. It is such a fascinating deep dive into the rabbit hole of a $42 billion space. I'll see you guys next week on a Sticker Wars episode. And as always, grab your popcorn, grab your wine, because I have so much tea. Thanks for joining us.